Hey, how's it going, guys? Alright, so in this video, I want to share a very useful physical extension to visualize JSON record set. Alright, so the tool is called JSON Crack, and this is actually a plugin that I use very frequently every time when I need to examine a JSON dataset, trying to figure out the relationships and so on. Alright, so let's look at an example. So let's do this. So let's go into the plugins website, and it's going to be jasoncrack.com. Now here you can either use the web version, or you can go to VS Code and download the plugin. But let me show you how to use the web version first. Alright, so once you get into the website, you can click on Go to Editor, and it's free. Unless you want to use the premium feature, and which in most cases you probably don't need to use that. Alright, so here we can choose the data type. So it can be JSON, YAML, XML, TAML, or CSV file. And I'm going to choose JSON file. Then I'm going to import my data set. Alright, so for demonstration, I'm going to use these two files. So the first data set is going to be a JSON data set from Reddit API. So I'm going to simply drag the file, and I already watered down the data set. So in this data set, there's only one record. Then I'm going to import the JSON file. Now it's going to load the JSON file and convert that into this graph right here. And because Redis dataset has actually quite many fields, I remember it was like 100 fields or something. So, but if we look at this, so we can see that the roots is going to be from this field called subreddit, and which represent the group name. Then we have the records, which is going to be a list. So orange represent a list. So basically, your records. And within this record, we have this field. And from this field, we have 11 fields. So from these 11 fields, based on Redis API. So we have the regular fields. So this is going to be kind of like a column. Then we have array. So this is going to be array. Then we have a dictionary. Then we have other single fields. So it's really depending on how the fields are structured. Now let's try a different file. And I'll import a file. Okay, let me just go ahead and import a file. Right, so it's asked me to upgrade. That's okay. Then let's use the VS Code extension. So I'm going to go into VS Code. Now here, so from the extensions, here let's go into extension. You want to search for the JSON Crack plugin. Now install the plugin, and I already installed the plugin. So I'm going to close the window. Now to use the plugin in VS Code, it's really easy. So we can simply open the file. And so I'm going to grab the folder path. And I'll simply open the file. Now in VS Code, there's no subscription involved. Now once you import once you open the JSON file, on the top right hand corner, you should see this icon right here, this graph icon. So simply click on this JSON Crack visual icon right here and click on that. Now it's going to take the data set, and it's going to create the graph to visualize the relationship between each field. I'll just give it a second. Now it also depends on the size of the data set to determine how long the graph is going to get created. Now because I haven't really looked at this data set yet, but if we look at this graph right here, right, so by looking at this, I can quickly see that from the root node, I have two fields, followed by the data field. Then I have 95 records. Right, so then it's going to display all the 95 records into kind of like a tree view. Right, so let's go into one of the record. So I know it's going to be a little bit difficult to navigate because in this case, I have actually quite many records. But in most cases, you only want to have 1 or 2 records at one time. So I'm actually showing a very bad example. All right, so if we look at the records, so from this record here, I have a child record, which is going to be named called rental methods. And then from the rental methods, and this is actually a list, so I have these 6 values: key, Apple Pay, Android Pay, and so on. And same thing with other records as well. So as you can see that using the tool JSON Crack, I can quickly visualize my JSON dataset and be able to figure out the relationship pretty quickly. Alright, so this is going to be everything I'm going to share in this video, and hope you guys find this video useful. And feel free to leave your feedback or your comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.